The world is in a holding pattern. Major productions have been shut down, TV and film are on a standstill, theaters are empty, and Battinson is waiting in the wings. I have to say that I'm impressed with Pattinson's refusal to play into the culture of unhealthy body image in Hollywood. That's a point in his favor, in my opinion. That being said, let's get into the new Bat. The DC cinematic universe trying to redeem themselves with a fresh new take on the Batman is old news. Their performance in recent years has been less than stellar, dropping their usual hopeful tone for dark and dreary. Superman angsts like Batman, Wonder Woman is reduced to mere eye candy, and Batman is just done. He's human. I get it. He can't always keep up with the big guns. But good old Batsy's got his brains, so where was that? Everything wrong with the DCEU is another topic entirely. So let's focus on the most current reason geeks everywhere are clutching at their pocket protectors in aghast horror. Batman, the latest in a legacy. Robert Pattinson had been confirmed as Batman ages ago, and filming had started, and then halted. But as usual, when something new rears its head in any geekdom, fans readily take up arms. We saw this with Backlash against Batflick. Literally hundreds of thousands signatures demanded his removal from the project. But ultimately Kevin Smith got his wish. And he wasn't a terrible Bruce Wayne. But Affleck's Batman left a lot to be desired. If you're curious about that, maybe take a look at my top Batman actors video. But Pattinson beat out Nicholas Hoult. You know, the adorably adorkable young Hank McCoy from X-Men, and won the coveted place of top Bat. Pattinson has been met with a staggering amount of hostility, and this is mostly due to his unfortunate tenure as a sparkling teenage vampire heartthrob over a decade ago. Let's chalk it up to youthful indiscretion, but on a plus side, he's been brooding for years, which means he's had tons of practice to play the Lord of Angst himself, the Batman. Battinson might not be the crazy concept that diehard fans are making it out to be. After his stint in cheesy teenage melodrama, Pattinson's grown in his art, having kept a low profile with acclaimed art house films. No glitter anywhere. But let's break it down here. Pattinson's in his early 30s, and most canon places Bruce Wayne as 20s when he takes up the cape and cowl. So Pattinson's young. That's a plus in his column as well. Bruce Wayne is a young, hot playboy billionaire, and Robert Pattinson is good looking. I think. He's definitely cute, right? I'm really not the person to ask that. But word is, Matt Reeves' The Batman is going to tackle a younger Bruce Wayne in Batman, but without the origin story. Great, we don't need to see the Waynes die again. Bruce Wayne is an orphan. We've got it. Move on. Honestly, there are other orphans I'd like to see on screen. With this take on The Dark Knight, maybe we'll actually get a chance to delve into the character and see him grow. I want to see Bruce as a baby daddy. Can't you just imagine it? Little Dickie, jumping around the mansion and swinging from chandeliers, sliding down the banister? I mean, a flying Grayson's gotta fly. And it's something that we've never gotten to see on screen, with the exception of... Not to mention that Pattinson could totally pull off DILF. I want to see the family, or at least a hint of it. Just a hint of the beginning of it. Batman is famous for saying that he works alone, and yet he hoards children. So where is that? Why has that never been reflected? It's an aspect of Bruce Wayne that is constantly ignored in cinema. Bruce Wayne's need to rebuild his family and continuously collecting orphaned children. But enough on that. I could go on forever on why we need to see the Bat Kids. Okay, so Pattinson isn't an action star. So what? They can be taught. Look what Steven Spielberg did with Chris Pratt. Big round boy to total snack. Even I'd take a bite out of that. I mean, it's not completely out of the realm of possibilities for the franchise. We've seen it before with Michael Keaton, who was primarily a comedic actor before he played the part of Batman. DC and Warner Brothers have made the same mistake time and time again. They take a big, huge name star and throw them at the audience, and hope that that will have enough draw to create a blockbuster hit. I mean, look at Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Those were two disaster movies. Batman needs new blood. I mean, Christian Bale wasn't the obvious choice either, but he turned out to be the perfect choice. I mean, I know many mock the voice, but it's so reminiscent of the animated Batman series that I can't really complain. Robert Pattinson just might be the fresh blood that this dying universe needs. So the question is, can he pull it off? His tendency to chase much darker roles since his very, very public dissatisfaction with teenage heartthrobdom points to maybe. His low profile makes him all that more appealing. He's been reinventing himself and honing his craft. What we really need is a young, intelligent hero to step into the shadows. More detective, less Tom King, let's deck my kid in the face. Or Snyder's shoot first, ask questions later approach. That's the beauty of Batman. He's a thinker, unlike Superman's approach of let's brawl, or Wonder Woman's warrior spirit. But it's also what makes him so difficult to adapt to the screen. So, what have we learned? Well, the obvious choice isn't always the best choice. I mean, just look at George Clooney and that giant pile of shit. Rob's got the chops, but his success isn't solely dependent on him. He can't convincingly pull off the cape and cowl if he doesn't have a good script and a strong leader at the helm. So, lay off the pretty boy. He may surprise you. I mean, stranger things have happened. Hey, if you liked that, don't forget to check out my other videos, and maybe subscribe to my channel.